Hello, hello, welcome. All right. Look at all these new faces. Fantastic. Yay. Hello. Just waiting for people to cop on this morning. Excellent, excellent. Yeah. Great to see some. Oh, Nathan, hi. Good to see you. We've talked before. Good to see some Dojo members and new folks and some get to know VO regulars like Kitty Kaboom in the room. It's good, good, good. All right. Yay. Well, we'll be getting started in just 1 second. Oh, Venus, you are a get to know VO regular too. Good to see you. Yeah. All right. There we go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. We will get started. Excellent. How's everyone doing today? It's all right, all right. Good, 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 good. Yay. What do you think, Jeffrey? We gonna give another second, or shall we get started?
Yeah, I think we can give one more minute. If everybody wants to type in the chat where they're coming from, or maybe how
Yeah.
much, where are you in your voiceover journey?
We'll ask that a little later too, but we can put it here too. Yeah.
Sure.
Good to hear. Minneapolis, Penny. Good, good, good. All right. Yay. Cool. All right, all right. Yay. All right, let's get 30 more seconds and then it'll be officially 5 minutes after and we will get started. See, make sure there's nothing there.
Oh,
All right.
little bit of all over the place.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. All righty. Here we go. You want to get rolling, Jeffrey?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get this going. And let's see, how can I see you guys and this? That's what I need. Hold on. Because you are the most important part here. So let's see. Share the screen and get this. Here we go. And let's do that. Can everyone see that? Got
Yes.
it. Okay. All right. Welcome, welcome everybody to the VO Dojo. This is our monthly get to know VO. Today we are talking about voiceover, the artist's secret weapon, why every performer should have voiceover in their money-making arsenal. And artists, we mean actors, stand-ups, singers, anyone who's a performer in any way. How can this be part of making everything that you do better? I'm Tish Hicks. I'm the master sensei of the VO Dojo here in Burbank, California. Um, I've been a working pro in LA for over 25 years. I've been the voice of many, many, many campaigns and work in all genres of the business. And for the last 10 years, I have been the master sensei of the VO Dojo, which I created to help guide, support, connect, accelerate you from I don't know to working pro. So imagine there's a little blend of where everybody's at. on their journey here. The way it works at the dojo is we have the development division, which is our intro course called You Should Do Voiceover. Um, our 14-month full training program called From Mystery to Mastery, which is divided into 4 belt levels. When you finish it, you have earned your black belt, and that segues you into the working pro division, which is called the nth degree. And maybe some of you have been on the VO Dojo Pro Fight Club, which is our working pro workouts. So that's the whole scope of what we do here. And so today is a little introduction to the first moments of perhaps when you are thinking as a performer, how can I take all of the mastery that I have in other realms and apply it to this medium of voiceover? And that is our specialty here at the dojo. The dojo is not just me. Jeffrey is here supporting us today. He is part of our fabulous dojo team. Um, and he's here facilitating if you need anything in the background today. I'm the master sensei, and we also are blessed with some amazing other senseis. Sensei Ben Carroll, based in Chicago, Sensei Kat Campion in Minneapolis and working all over the world. Sensei Terry Nicole is based in Atlanta, and her specialties are e-learning and AI is something she's really on the frontier of. And Sensei Steph Reggio is based in Arizona. We go all the way back to our years at Northwestern together. So we've got an amazing group that is here supporting and giving all of our superpowers to you and all the different perspectives. So that's us. Let's hear about you. Would love to see in the chat where you're from. I know some of you put that in before, and would love to get a sense of where you're at on your voiceover journey. These are some distinctions that that kind of show where you are in the natural progression. People tell me I should do it. I've done some training, have a demo, have representation, booking sometimes, booking regularly, and looking to take it to the next level. Let's see, where is everyone at? And let me see if I can get my chat up here. Hold on one second. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled program, but let me get my chat up. Chat up, and we'll go back to the thing. There we go. There we go. So, let's see. Oh, hold on one more second. Technical. Need to get this where I can see it. Okay, there we go. All right. Demo booking sometimes, booking regularly. Okay, so we got a kind of advanced crowd. Returning to acting after another career. Awesome. Audiobooks, great place to start. Done some training, demos recorded. Okay. So, yeah. So it looks like we're a little advanced crew. So what we're talking about may be preaching to the choir here. So we'll open it up and see what we can find here. And maybe remind while we're here. So, okay, so why do voiceover? Voiceover is one of the best jobs an actor can have. It is, there's a potential to make big money and consistent money. There, you can pretty much do it from wherever you are in the world. And it's something you can do for a long time. At the dojo, we have people who, we've had people take, you should do voiceover while they're still in high school. We have college kids who are doing it. And we have people who, have retired from one career and are activating the next phase. So I've been doing it for a super long time and don't plan to stop. So it's something that can be a part of your creative world for a long, long time. do want to talk about the new normal. Everything changed in the last couple of years in the world, and particularly in the world of voiceover. The pandemic kind of accelerated things that were already in motion in terms of how the business works and how you can really do it from anywhere because everyone really shifted to doing it at home. So it's opened up a whole new world of opportunities. During the pandemic, we got to work with the lead of the Broadway cast of Phantom of the Opera. We worked with ER docs, and we worked with opera singers that would never have been together in a room for 6 weeks of class because they're usually all over the world, and then we were able to be together. But just to know that as performers, we have lives that take us lots of places, and this new normal really benefits in how you can incorporate this into everything else you are doing as a performer. Um, the name of the game, really, in I think all of the world as it works now, and particularly as performers, the word that is the heart of a successful career now is diversification. It used to be that you could go down one trail and have a career that works for you, just doing one thing. And now even people who are working at the highest levels of all the performances are doing need to do a little bit of everything to have what is a successful career. So how can you think of voiceover as a part of diversifying your creative income portfolio, activating all of the revenue streams that your skills can be applied to, whatever that is? How can it complement and supplement everything you're doing? Um, why do VO? Um, Probably goes without saying, but sometimes I think we forget that these two things can go together. Love and money. It is a fantastic way to take everything we love to do as performers and remove any disconnection from having money as part of our lives. Um, Voiceover is something that makes you nimble-minded, open-hearted, focused in action, unstoppable in spirit, available to overflowing abundance, and ready for endless possibilities. So I would love to hear. I mean, it seems like where everybody is. This may not be. It sounds like everyone's or many people are on the path, but would love to hear what's stopping you from doing voiceover, or what's stopping you from being at the next place that you want to be. What has kept you, or what is keeping you? And put that in the chat, or if I guess we could probably even overthinking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Might even be able to open it up to get some voices in the room. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Why don't we have people raise their hands and we'll have you say it in the room. So it's voiceover. Yeah. Obligations. Yeah. Need to support the family. That's real. Um, yeah. What else? What else is coming up? Not sure where to start. Yeah, so many options. It's pretty vast. We'll look at that in a second. Um, Trying to get my home booth ready. Yep. The technical is more of is the new normal has required that the technical be actually up to um, session quality um, in a way that it didn't have to be immediately before. And immediate is all relative, right? Immediate is when you're ready to be out and auditioning on jobs that you will book. So yeah. Oh, Pamela, you have a disability. Really interested in talking with you more because we're really recognizing how voiceover is a fantastic opportunity if you have something going on um, that keeps you from doing work in other ways. Home studio, um, marketing plan, busy cultivating it. Awesome. Yeah. E-learning. Good, good, good. Yeah, finding the time to weave this in. Um, very good. And then how do you, a full-time job, how do you create your new business when you're working your other business? Yeah. This is good. This is very, very good. Okay. So let's talk about what voiceover is, really. Might be some new perspectives on what what you think about it and what you know. So voiceover is an art form that serves commerce. And the beauty of it is then that commerce serves your art form, right? How can this be? You have a voiceover campaign that you work on for, an hour or so a month or a couple of times a week or something, and have the revenue stream so you can go out and do whatever Shakespeare in the Park or create that short film, etc. Um, this next idea is really the heart of everything that we do at the dojo. Um, Voiceover is communication, and communication is an exchange of vibrational energy. I'm going to do a little bit of exploration with some of the tools that we use at the dojo today and put this into action. But really taking everything down to that simple concept of what is the energy underneath the words, that is how we communicate. um, Voiceover is an entrepreneurial business. A lot of people are talking about, doing their full-time jobs. We have to really look at this as we are a startup business. We are. I always think about. I always talk about if you were taking it down to the simplicity of if you were starting a lemonade stand, what would you need? How would you need to get? What would you need to have? What would you need to think about? Um, what would you need to have in place to actually make it a business, right? So these are some of the things that voiceover is. And an entrepreneurial business is slightly different than working on gigs, right? Waiting for the next gig. How we approach this and how we build is not waiting for the next gig. Let's talk about where you find VO. So many places that you find VO. Can everyone see this whole mind map? This is a tool we call the paths to cash. Um, and Jeffrey, can you make sure that everyone can have a link to this?
Absolutely. I'll work on that.
Okay. So yeah, we'll put a link to this so you can have it. This is all the places that you can be making money in voiceover. Nowadays, we update this all the time because it is always shifting. There's always another way that that we are able to. Um, there's always new ways that using our voices can become ways that we make money. So if you look at the center here, um, this is laid out in a mind map of different genres, and then how they sort of relate to each other is um, is laid out here as well. So there's the realm of commercials, TV, radio. I think political is actually on a newer version of this too. Political commercials, political ads. We've been hearing a lot of those lately, right? We have the realm of infomercial, which I call the a love child genre, because it's a love child between commercials and narration. So it bridges over to the realm of narration and all of the many, many ways that that narration is part of our world here. Audiobooks, someone mentioned that they're working in the realm of audiobooks already, documentaries, TV narration, educational training and explainer videos, e-learning. Someone said that they're there, and all of the variations of e-learning, medical, audio tours, corporate, all of these things are niches that you can find your place in and have it part of your revenue stream, your diversified portfolio within your voiceover career. There's the realm of the announcer, live announce, promo, trailer. Everyone will still say not announce or announce, but this is things that tell us the information that's being shared, right? The realm of animation is bigger than ever. Um, and so many different ways that it is occurring and evolving. Video games, its own vast empire into itself. Anime is another love child genre. It's the love child of animation and working to picture. Often anime is done by doing dubbing, so we're doing that love child blend. All of the parts of voiceover that are part of the production process: ADR, looping, dubbing, voice matching. I had two auditions to voice match Helen Mirren last week. It was like, what an honor. That would be cool. I haven't heard back yet. Yeah, broadcast and webcast. Some of you might come from a broadcast background, and I call these a podcast is really its own realm of voiceover now. It's sort of a blend of these broadcast skills, but I call these the cousins of voiceover, the cousins of voiceover, because the skills you have as a as a broadcaster are skills that relate to voiceover and then might be a little different. Like if you go to your cousin's house if you go to your cousin's house for a sleepover, it's family, but the rules are a little different. So audio drama and scripted podcasts becoming huge. And then the voice of things. Everything has a voice. And actually, the AI is on the latest version of this. So yeah. So that is the whole realm. I think sometimes when we are coming to voiceover, someone said, "Where do you start?" Um, I don't know that everybody gives you. I don't know that there's a lot of places where you get like this whole overview of what all it is and how it looks. So this in itself is helpful, and you can start anywhere. Um, and how you're going to do it is going to be your own path, right? Um, so here's a question for you. Um, if we were at a party and I said, "Hey, everybody, run to the square where your heart leads you first." Like if you just went like, "Ooh, what does my heart? Not what we should do, not what you must do, but where or for whatever reason, where would you run to first? Where would your heart take you first of all these things? You can put it in the chat. Anime, yeah, huge heart based thing. Yeah, animation, commercials, audio, yep, narration, e-learning, corporate, yep. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's good to note where that like, ooh, that. Yeah. Yeah. And Joey, you don't have to limit yourself. Joey said I'd say commercials, but I don't want to limit myself. And this is the mindset that we have. Notice where your heart leads you, and then we open ourselves to all the possibilities too, right? And see how it fits in. Yeah. Good. Good, good, good. Awesome. Well, this is something you guys can have and have it as a put it up on your put it up on in your booth or in wherever you're doing your voiceover business, and keep on remembering how all these things are out there. Now, ideally, ideally, when your voiceover career is up and running, um, you have it set up so that you have opportunities that the course of your day could be that you could be getting opportunities for any of these things and be able to go boom, 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 got it, can do it. And then also understanding that we can find our niches and how this is where I can really serve and really create traction. So, let's see. This is another way to look at all of those all of those genres in a graph. This is from the Voice Actors of New York survey of what most voice actors do to make money. So you can see that commercials is something that most everybody does in some shape or form, and then the various genres are additional to that. It's kind of good to see how it works, right? And that's all part of the idea of diversification. Let's talk quickly about how much does voiceover pay. Um, Here's a quote from a Dojo member that I think puts things into perspective as we're shifting from things that we might be doing now to make our living, and how voiceover can change the way that we think about how that works, right? Um, Here is another slide from the Voice Actors of New York survey. Notice here that 50% of people make between eight reported making between $0 and $8,000 a year, and pretty much the other half made between 8,000 and 500,000, right? So how understand that there is a curve, there is sections, and I guess the name of the game is how do you get to be in this? How do you get to be in this upper quadrant, right? How do you get to be in this 25% that's making full living doing this? What does that take? What is needed? How it can be done? How can it be done? Becomes the name of the game. I think having a mindset and we'll talk about that in a second, but uh, this understanding that it is possible, and then setting your intention that this is what you will be doing, then you can find the path. Which segues to what does it take? What does it take to get to that 25%, right? So the Dojo, we talk about the 5 things it takes. First one is decision, right? There's so many things there's so many things that we have to do, so many things that we want to do, so many things that we are doing. This needs to be a conscientious decision to be something that you are building. It will never be the only thing that you are building. Even when you have a full-time voiceover career, you always have family and things that you're doing and other stuff that you love and do. So it will never be the only thing you're doing. However, I think sometimes as performers, there can be a mindset that voiceover is something I can do like as a little side dish. And getting a sustained, successful voiceover career is not really something that you can do as a side dish. How you want to think about it is making a decision to make sure that it's part of your complete breakfast, right? So it needs to be on your plate and incorporating it in. We always talk about how do you weave voiceover into the rich tapestry of your gorgeous life, and what is the process of that? You have to make a conscious decision at some point to do it. At first, you can explore, but there needs to be a conscious decision. Mindset, decision, mindset, technique, getting the tools you need, applying those techniques, and applying everything you're learning and putting it all together and putting in the hours, and then support, decision, mindset, technique, application, support. So I just sort of went in depth on the decision making. This visual is nobody casually finds themselves at the top of K2. You have to make a decision to climb a mountain. With the dojo, we talk about the top of the mountain. If a sustained, successful voiceover career is the top of the mountain, then how do you, wherever you are from sea level to summit, how do you figure out what is the plan to get there? We talk about the helicopter coming. If the helicopter comes, get on it, get up, and stay as high as you can for as long as you can, and understand you may not be experienced mountaineer, right? So how do you become an experienced mountaineer that you can climb any mountain that you decide to get up? So decision is first thing. Mindset, we're just talking about that. I am going to do this. It is inevitable that I will be making money in voiceover. How do you make that a mantra and then take action for that? The dojo mindset is first in everything that we do. The internal training that we do here is most important. So everybody that I've ever met has some relationship with an inner critic. Anyone, like, just raise your hand. Anyone know their inner critic? Anyone have one? Yeah, we do. The dojo, we are all about empowered activation. There's so much in the realm of acting and performing that even in the use of language, we submit our auditions. Please, I submit. We have representation because we need to be represented. And no, I'm not dissing representation, because representation is a powerful part of your team. We just need to make sure that we're always thinking about it as representation are the people that we're choosing to get us to our destination, right? We're driving the car. So we're all about empowered actor language and activation. Abundance, opening up to abundance, understanding that there's, however much money you want to make, how do you set out to be open to receive that and clear the paths to that? And self-awareness, understanding yourself, so that you can bring yourself to all this work and all this abundance. So really our mission here at the dojo is aligning you with the power and possibility of your voice. And then understanding the process. We've been talking about it. We talked about it a little bit inherently and how the dojo is structured, but with or without the dojo, there's a natural progression from I don't know to working pro. And when you're at the beginning of at the sea level of that summit, or you've been working in other realms, you're like, what is all this? I don't know. Where do you start? To just recognize that there is a journey and a gestation period that happens is really important. So at the dojo, we break them into belt levels. White belt is you should do voiceover. That's opening your awareness and initiating yourself. Yellow belt then becomes exploration and learning tools. Green belt becomes exploration, which becomes your demo prep. Blue belt is demo production. You have a product. And then brown belt is integration. And then individual integration, right? Because each of you live somewhere else, have different life circumstances, ran to a different place on the paths to cash. So different ways that you're going to integrate this into the world. And then black belt then is expansion. It's not like we arrive at some place. It's always expanding and becoming, going to the next level and starting this process over. So I think it's really important too. I think some people are like, oh, I'll do a demo in 6 weeks and da 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 da. A baby takes 9 months to gestate, and there's reasons for that. So just thinking about that. At the dojo, this yellow, green, blue, brown is the progression through the Mystery to Mastery program. Okay, so let's get to the meat because I want to. We're going to get to work with somebody. We're going to share some tools here and get to work with somebody, and then I'm also want to make sure that we have time to answer questions and see what is sparked here. So decision, mindset. The third thing is technique. So how do you have tools to be able to approach all of these things, to understand what all the genres are, and then how do you approach them? So I want to share with you some tools that we work with at the dojo. Understanding that you are always creating your toolbox. So wherever you are and whoever you're working with, always you are adding to your own toolbox. At the dojo, we talk about the main tools as the braid of analysis. So there's 3 strands to the braid of analysis. If you think about how a braid works, right, it's 3 layers that get equally interwoven with each other. So these tools, these these ways of approaching a piece of copy, we call connection, logic, and energy are 3 ways into copies, tools that you can explore copy with. Those make up the braid of analysis. So let's take a look at each of those individually. So the first one is connection. Remember we talked about voiceover is communication, and communication is an exchange of vibrational energy. This is the heart of the idea of connection. There's two parts to it. First part is find out what resonates with you, really, truly, authentically, and then who are you sharing it with? One real person that you know in real life. The second thread is the logic thread. The 2 plies of the logic thread are, what are you talking about, and how are you talking about it? There's structure, there's form, there's patterns, there's types of copy that have form and logic to them, that is part of the process of looking at a piece of copy. So connection, reading down for connection, how does it resonate with me? Who are you sharing it with? And then logic, what are you talking about, and how are you talking about it? The third strand is called, where we call energy, right? To consider how much energy does it take to deliver this message. You can think of it like which ski hill you'd have to go down to to deliver this message, and how does the energy flow through? If you've ever seen anyone do parkour, think about that, the physicality of that and keeping everything moving forward. We always want to find that current of energy through, and how are you moving it through the piece of copy? So connection, logic, and energy. These are the tools. Any questions about this before we jump in? And I think the next thing we're gonna do is, well, let me get to this. Well, actually, let me ask you, are there any questions about these concepts before we move on to applying it? Questions about any of this? You can raise your hand and ask your question if you have one. Everyone pretty good? I'm going through fast. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, let's keep on going, and we're going to do a quick demonstration of this with someone. And so, decision, mindset, technique. We have a few techniques now. So, let's see what happens when we apply it. So, we'll jump in here. Jeffrey, can you help me find one person who will help, who can step up and explore this piece of copy, and we'll do a demonstration of how these tools can work.
Sure thing. All right. So, Michael Ward, we got one. Michael
Michael
Ward.
Ward, this is it's a good thing. Mm. Sometimes in a little cross but super fun way, we go when we go who it's time to raise your hand or something. We say at the dojo, "Who wants a job, motherfucker?" And so Michael, that's good. It's a good practice to get into. Right, Michael, awesome. So just remind me where you're from and where you are on your journey, so I know how to calibrate.
Um, I'm in I'm in Florida, and I've been acting for close to 35 years.
Uh-huh.
Most of the work, though, that I've done has been on camera and
Uh-huh.
theater, but I have done some uh, voiceover and continue to audition for it. But I really need to get a home studio set up,
Mhm.
and that's
Well,
what I'm
that's
looking
part
to
of it.
do is to focus on it more now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to so you need to make a decision about it. And the technical is absolutely important, but it doesn't matter if you're not, getting the tools and like getting your takes in place, being able to deliver is the most important. And then we also need the things to do that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's let's play. So here's a piece of copy. I'll give you a second to take it in,
Okay.
and then we'll walk through the three strands. It'll be a quick thing, but ultimately, I'll just riff here for a second, Michael, while you take this in. Ultimately, um, we want everything that we do to prepare and train and for our voiceover career is to be able to have a piece of copy put in front of us and be able to go, boom, I know exactly what it is. The ethic of voiceover is really the ethic of improv, right?
Right.
We want to be prepared and ready so that whatever's put in front of us, we can bring to life, make a million different choices and bring it to life. So, all right, you ready, Michael?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do one take, and then we'll make some adjustments. I'll give you some direction coaching. Well, actually, I'll give you some coaching. We'll work in coaching modality
Okay.
today because that's how we'll use the tools. Okay, so let's do a first take. Are you ready?
hmm
Okay, slate your name, and we're rolling on one.
Michael Ward. This is the backyard where the neighborhood kids come to play tag, where the dogs run and where time grew a tomato patch. This is the backyard where the wind took the fence. The very next day, Dad built a new one, even stronger than before. This is the land. And for generations, Pinnacle Bank has been learning from it and going to work for businesses, for farms, for families. Put us to work for you at pinbank.com. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Excellent, really nice. So, in coaching modality, at the dojo, we work in coaching modality and direction modality. In coaching modality, what you think and know is always most important. And then a sensei is here to guide you on how else you can be thinking about it, right? So let me ask you those coaching questions real quick. How did it feel?
It felt good,
Okay.
felt connected. I mean,
Mhm.
something I resonate with.
Good. And then what notes would you give yourself on take two? And let's say we just introduced the idea of connection, logic, and energy. So you know what just happened on take one. Um, Using one of those three tools, what notes would you give yourself for take two?
Um, be more specific, about who I'm talking to.
Okay, so that's a connection note. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go through the steps of the connection tool. So first of all, you said this resonates for you. So what about this piece resonates for you? Where like when what resonates for you here?
Um, well, just, having been a homeowner and having a family,
Mhm.
raising a family.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So let's get even more specific about this. When you see backyard, tell us about the backyard that comes to your mind.
Um, yeah, the backyard where, in the house where we raised our kids.
And what does it look like? What does it feel like?
Well, it looks a lot like this, and I mean, it didn't have a fence, but it didn't have a built-in fence, but it had natural barriers with hedges and things
Mhm.
like that. Nothing that would uh, fully obstruct the view of your neighbors, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And who are the neighbor kids? What were the names of the neighbor kids that would come and hang out with your kids?
Um, the boy was Tim, and the
Mhm.
girl was Leanne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And did you have a dog?
We did, yes.
Okay. Great. You see where we're getting to?
Right.
So let's go again, just pulling on this thread. And and then you brought up the point, who could you be sharing this with? So we've got some really nice specificity of the things that are activated here. Who could you be sharing it with? One real person that you know in real life.
Um, well, my current partner, uh, I could, if we were back there, I could be showing her exactly where.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
And what's her name?
Janie.
Janie. Okay, let's go again. Let's go again. Now we've got these connections activated and share with Janie and show her. This
Okay.
is this is the place. And okay, here we go. Rolling on two.
This is the backyard where the neighborhood kids come to play tag, where the dogs run, and where time grew a tomato patch. This is the backyard where the wind took the fence, and the very next day, Dad built a new one, even stronger than before. This is the land. And for generations, Pinnacle Bank has been learning from it and going to work for businesses, for farms, for families. Put us to work for you at pinbank.com. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member
Good.
FDIC.
Good. So we get a little sense of, I think there's even more Tim and Leanne specificity that can go in there. Now, as you're sharing this with Janie, I got a sense of you sharing though. So let's talk real quick about the logic of this piece, right?
Mhm.
So what is going on here? We've got the story of the backyard, and then we have the second part, that's the bank, right?
Right.
Right. So we're sharing the story. We're sharing this story about really specific things that we can relate to because they're like this bank, right?
Mhm.
So we can use the connection thread here too, because we talked about how do you feel about backyards, et cetera, et cetera. How do you feel about banks? That's a really important connection thread too,
Right. Yeah.
right? So how do
Yeah.
you feel about banks, Michael?
Um, well, I use a credit union now because I wasn't really thrilled with the bank that I was using.
Excellent.
And a lot of that had to do with um, the impersonalization, if you
Hmm.
will. I mean, a lot of banks are charging fees if you go in and work with a teller,
Right,
so
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. So you relate, you go to a credit union, but you relate to the principles of Pinnacle Bank, right?
right, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So let's just do that last part, and then I think we'll just do the last part. And for generation, this is the land, and for generations, just switch into that with
okay.
that understanding.
Starting at this is a land,
Yeah.
okay. This is the land. And for generations, Pinnacle Bank has been learning from it and going to work for businesses, for farms, for families. Put us to work for you at pinbank.com. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Excellent. Good, good, good. And then now let's see what happens when we pull on the energy thread and just pick up the pace about that a little bit. Let it
Okay.
go, let it smooth it out and let it go through just that same last section.
Okay. This is the land. And for generations, Pinnacle Bank has been learning from it and going to work for businesses, for farms, for families. Put us to work for you at pinbank.com. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
There we go. See how these things work?
Yeah.
Yeah, just little tools to let you hone in because your first take was really nice, and now you have a lot of different ways to explore how else you can go deeper and put it all together.
Yeah.
Good, nice job, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. We've talked about the 5 things: decision, mindset, technique. We've got a couple of tools in our toolbox that you can add. Michael just demonstrated application, so you guys can play and explore. And the 5th thing it takes is support, which is just true. I mean, the truth about anything in voiceover is that it's always just you alone here in your box, but you never do it alone. And we are here, so you never have to do it alone. And you're always working with other people who are focused and committed as you are, and allows the amplification of your individual efforts and bringing them out into the world. Here's a couple things about things people have said about their experiences here at the dojo. David was 23 when he came through Mystery to Mastery, and he signed with DPN. He was hip pocketed by DPN as a non-union performer back when that was like a thing. Mariana is from Venezuela, and it was her time, and she is back in Florida working. Tom Provost is amazing editor and also teaches film. So yeah, lots of different ways that we can get to her. So how do you get to that 25%? You can join us. We would love for you to join us. If you're at the beginning of your journey, the You Should Do Voiceover is a great place to start. That whole mind map, over the course of 6 weeks, we explore all of that and put it together and give you tools on how to recognize and approach and bring yourself to all of those genres. We are enrolling for next year. We're just in the middle of our last class for this year. So if you would like to start your year supercharged and in alignment, let's talk about getting you started. January 14th is the time. If you sign up today, we can give you $100 off using this code. And if you are on your journey already, what we do at the dojo is have you start with You Should Do Voiceover, and then that allows us to lay a foundation and meet you exactly where you are, and we can take off running from there. So even though it's called You Should Do Voiceover, as if you may not have had experience, it really is the foundation of everything that we're doing here. So this is here. If you have more questions, you can sign up for a voiceover once over. We can have a little bit more time to chat about where you are and where you'd like to be and where you might fit in here and how we might be able to help you get to where you want to be. So we have a few more minutes, and I would love to hear your questions, and I would love to hear your dojo O's. What came through for you if you wanted to ask questions, and then also I would love to hear what your takeaways are at the end of every class at the dojo we and with dojo O's. So if there's one thing that you went oh, you can put that in the chat. And yeah, we have a few minutes. We can go a little bit over. If you need to roll, thank you for being here. And please sign up for a VOO. We'd love to talk with you. We are here as a resource for you always. And if you can stay, let's take some questions. What questions do you guys have? It was everyone's complete and full. Yeah. Anyone have any questions they'd like to ask, or anything that occurred? Let's see. Do we have any questions, Jeffrey?
Yeah, we just got one from Joe Pirates.
Yeah.
Just getting into IVR, where actually, Joe, I'd love to
Yeah.
bring you into the room so you could ask it directly. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
unmute yourself and come on in.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I was just wondering. I've got a new demo I put together myself with IVR, and I do have a
Mhm.
pro demo for TV marketing. And but
Mhm.
I'd like to get into IVR. I think I could do it. Where would I market my skills to?
Well, there's, so with anything like you're starting a business, what is this? What is the service, right? And who
Right.
needs the service, right? And then what level, what are the levels that you can explore, right? So, IVR, and if people don't know what that is, it's interactive voice recording. So there's two levels. There's sort of the sequence. If you get put on hold, and then there's a sequence, press 1 for da 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 da. That's interactive voice recording. There's also voice messaging, right? That maybe there's an ad or something that's on hold there. So who needs this, right? So the dentist around the corner from your house could need something like this. And American Express could need something like this, right?
Right.
So then think through, um, how do you figure out who would be in charge, right?
Right.
And then how do you figure out how to say, this is what I do, right?
Mhm.
So if you think about it, IVR is both, like IVR is a cross section in terms of what's happening at a business, right?
Right.
Of marketing. Well, it's actually operations, right? It's actually operations, right? But it's part of so it's part of customer service and operations, um, and then also you need to be able to embody the brand and the feeling, the experience that you want to have, right? So communications, right? So who's in charge of communications, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
And then
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, and then um, and then uh, at a lower level, how can you approach somebody to say, hey, dentist, this could be, this is something that could be helpful for you in keeping your workflow organized. And then how do you approach a bigger company, right?
Right.
Actually, one of my missions in my copious spare time, I'm part of the First Entertainment Credit Union. I love them, but there's segments of their IVR that is like so cringy that I want to call them up and say, hey, do you need help with this? Because it is, an entertainment credit union. So,
Well,
yeah.
the one thing that really kind of sticks out to me is that this is normally the first contact the company has with
Mhm.
customers. And a bad IVR, I think, would be, off-putting and then sending
Mhm.
their customers elsewhere.
Absolutely. So then how do you present yourself as part of a solution at that level, right?
Right.
Yeah. Good. Good, good,
Okay.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. What are the questions?
Cool. Thanks, Joe. We had a general one from Judith.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, Judith.
yeah, Judith, if you'd like to come into the room and ask your question, if you're still with us. Yeah. And if not, I can pose it for you.
Well, let's hear her voice.
Hi.
There she
Oh,
is.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted to find out what exactly you do in the class. I have a home booth set up,
Mhm.
and like I said, I've been doing a little bit of audiobook narration, but
Mhm.
want to start doing other things too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just wanted to find out what it covers.
Yeah. Well, the idea of the You Should Do voiceover is that it gives you a comprehensive overview and a little taste of everything that we talked about, pretty much everything on that thing. So if you've come into the world through audiobooks, you've come onto that map from over here. So what we do is bring it into the center and we talk about the things that apply to all the things, right? These are things that will serve in all of these things. And then each week so the first week we lay down the foundations, set a baseline. Second week we go into the realm of commercials and the first level of nuances and things to know and tools to start exploring commercials. And then the third week we go into a next level of nuance. Then we bridge over through that infomercial, the love child between commercial and narration, over into narration, and we explore all of those things. What are the concepts that continue through, and then what are differentiated, so that you have an understanding of what each thing looks like and how you can start approaching it, and how you are always bringing it to yourself. Week 5, we explore animation and video games. Not that they're the same thing. We explore them in the same class, but understanding that there's differentiations between them. And then week 6, we talk about care and feeding of the voiceover artist and your internal and your external equipment. So we talk about taking care of your instrument and creating your environment, your equipment, and things like that. And then we bring it all together with basically a session. We explore what it is to, the whole process is very hands-on. This is what it is to do an audition. And then we finish up with, this is what it is to do a session at home. What is it like to do a directed session at home? And then we wrap up. So, and as I said before, if you're on the beginning of your journey, it's a fantastic place to start because it gives you foundations for all of it. And if you're in your journey, we always approach it as, how does it complement and supplement what you already know, so we can meet you where you are and take off running from there. Is that helpful, Judith? And you can totally sign up for a voiceover once over, and we can talk more
Thanks.
about the
Will
whole
do.
thing. Yeah. Yeah. What other questions do we have?
We had one from, I believe it was Pamela. Yeah, Pamela about booths. Yeah. Pamela, are
Hey.
you still with us?
Yeah, I see her.
Yep.
There she is.
I was just wondering if you'd heard anything about the framery booths up here in Canada. There's not as many options, and there's a lot more expense with shipping, and that's the only local one. And I don't know if it would work well for VO or not.
Oh, wait, say the subject of the sentence a little more clearly. I didn't quite catch it.
The booths, there's a company that's called, like, it says Framery Booth is the name of it. And
Okay.
I've heard of them at all. I know that they're like international, but it's the closest one for me to be able to get one, but it's not specifically for VO. It's supposed to just be soundproof booths for offices and such.
Oh, I see. I'm not familiar with that product, and then you're saying that it's hard to get to Canada. So,
It,
uh,
there's like, for instance, there's a few others. There's like Bear Cave and such like that, but none of them are very close. It's a few provinces away. So there's enormous shipping costs. So I figure if I
Oh,
go,
I see.
I will.
I see. Well, I'm not familiar with the product. So with anything in terms of like your equipment and your setup, the things that you need to consider, and I think we did a get to know VO about setting up your home studio. That might be good to touch base and get a recording of that because we talked about a lot about the things that need to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, my
You
space is
know,
terrible.
what's that?
My space is terrible.
Well, it's there's some spaces that are just like, yep, it's not happening here. Um, I mean,
I mean,
Jeffrey.
there's a possibility. Like it's workable. It's just that it's going to require a lot of investment to change to improve the sound quality. So
Well, it can, and and then the questions are, what is your budget? What is your budget right now, right? What are the simplest things you can do to impact it? And then build from there, right?
yeah,
So,
like
you
right
know,
now, as noted, unfortunately with my disability, everything's been swallowed by medical bills. So I
yes,
cannot, not
understandably.
much I can do
Yeah.
for investing. And unfortunately, the nature disability means I can't really do the blanket fort.
Mhm. Okay. So
So
you have the parameters that you need, and then
yeah, so what I've been doing instead is I just I've been narrowing my scope, I guess, to just doing in studio stuff. Like where I actually have to go to a professional studio to do it. I can audition from home, but quality wise from home, it's probably not going to happen right now.
well, I think you can keep on going what, I mean, Jeffrey's just moved to a quiet apartment, but the apartment that he had before was, I think, like a cartoon. So no, I think it was like, wait, what is there a reggae band in your house? So that was a particularly challenging place. Um, but keep on thinking about how it can work rather than how it can't work, right? And
Mhm.
what is the simplest form that you can do? And then, just
That's where I'm
also,
stuck. Is trying to find the cans at this point because I've been trying every angle I could, and it's not. I'm not getting
well, we should,
progress.
I think, yeah. So maybe we can find a time to talk a little bit more
Yeah,
specifically about how to approach that, or we can set up an appointment with Dan Leonard, and he can kind of, do a assessment, right? A specimen collection and see what
right.
his thoughts might be.
Okay.
So, yeah. This is a mindset thing in some ways, right? We have
Oh yeah,
challenges.
that's why my goal.
Yeah.
My that's why I was like, I'll look at the frame rate thing, and I can think of that as a long term goal, But as in hey, that's a solution if the frame rate booth is an option. So it's not like it's a complete, ixnay on it. It's just a matter of what are my options at the stage.
Mhm. And that's how we get, and then we keep the energy going, yes, and the
Exactly.
solution will come. So, yeah. Good, good, good.
Hey, can I just pipe in real quick
Yeah,
to kind of
absolutely.
piggyback off of what you mentioned? Pamela, nice to meet you. And as Tish mentioned, I was in a third story. I was on the third floor of a Brooklyn apartment, and it sounded like I was blasting the studio in my apartment. The windows would rattle on a near daily basis, and not a great setup for recording at all. So there's some experts. We love working with Dan Leonard. I just popped his link to his website in the chat. For just getting an analysis, he sent me a small novella of what I could do to improve on my space for that. So that
Yeah.
investment for just that 25, and he doesn't miss a trick. He's very
Okay.
good. So
Yeah.
for what is really a small upfront investment, you can actually get quite a lot to work off of. And then after you implement his advice, there is the option to then book a private session with him, and he can really like help bring it all together. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Um, uh, yeah, what other questions do we have? Or I'd love to, well, what love to see your Dojo O's too. I don't know if there's any that are in here, but yeah.
no new questions. But I do see there's a few Dojo O's that popped in.
Oh yeah.
Um,
let's have people share their Dojo O's in their voice.
Yeah. So far we have one from Nick Staub.
Yay. What's your Dojo O today, Nick?
I didn't realize that the AI was on the map for us to actually become humanly connected with for voiceover. So I'm
Yeah, Sensei
interested in
Terry's
how.
been working a lot with that.
Mm,
Yeah. So recognizing that AI is actually part of something that we can create money from, right? Yeah. Cool. Cool. Right.
All right,
Anything
thanks,
else?
Nick.
Anything else anyone wants to share? What came through for you? Hopefully it was worthwhile.
Sharp group.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Hopefully it was helpful. We do this the third Wednesday of every month, so you put it on your calendar. If you're interested in the January, you should do voiceover. Go to the website and use this code. It's good till the end of the day Pacific time, so
Oh,
midnight Pacific time.
we just got a raised hand from Kimberly.
Oh yeah, Kimberly.
Yeah, come on in.
You were just starting to answer it, but I'm not. So I was just curious if I couldn't do it now, if I could take the class and use the code for, like, say, a few months from now or so, because I'm in the process of moving, so I don't know when I'll actually be available.
Oh, yeah. Well, this offer is for this record, like this session. We'll come back where we'll come back, when it's time. So yeah. So this is for today, and then come back on a Wednesday, and we'll there will be other opportunities. This one is for today. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And then just you can the January and February sessions are on. And yeah. So and you can give us a call if you have other questions. So
Okay.
yeah. Good. Yeah, and Jen, there is a recording for this. It should be up like probably tomorrow. So yeah, if you weren't able to be here for the whole time, want to see the whole thing, yeah, and absolutely email us or set up a voiceover once over because we'd love to hear what came through from you for you. Share how using the tools might be shifting how you're doing things if you're out auditioning. And yeah, and if you're just starting, you can kind of play around with, ooh, what could I do with that?
Yeah.
Um,
One other thing too, should we mention for the pros that have a demo and are booking the room, should we mention the nth degree intensive coming up?
Ooh, yes, absolutely. That's a great thing to mention. One of the things that we do in our working pro division, the working pro division is called the nth degree, right? Like you earn your black belt and then you're an nth degree black belt and you're always continuing to hone and develop and deepen your skills. So the working pro division, a fantastic thing that we do a couple of times a year is called the nth degree career catapult weekend intensive. So it's 3 full days of a small group working to hone in on what is your vision and how are you going to build that, right? So honing in on what is it that you want out of your business, and then how you can be activating a business plan to get to that. There's lots of guests that have varying experiences of different ways that you can be exploring and adding to your diversified portfolio. And we have a representation panel that comes on the last day of top agents and managers, listen to everyone's demo. Everyone gets individual feedback. There are and then there are interviews. People, each agent or manager chooses someone to run through their interview process. So it's a really powerful 3 days. If you're on your journey, have everything that you need and are ready to roll, it's a really powerful 3 days that gives you a time and a space to focus in on working on your business rather than in your business, right? And the idea of this catapult of concentrating all of this information into action and boom, setting a trajectory for where you want to go. That is coming up the weekend of Veterans Day, November 11th, 12th, and 13th, and we do have a few spots left. If you are interested in that, touch base with Melina at nth, the capital N, little th, at thevodojo.com. Melina Bielefeld is our nth degree producer, and she can talk with you, tell you more about it, and see if it's a good if you're a good fit for it, if it's the right time for you to be a part of that. It sounds like there might be some people here that it could be a good fit for. So yeah. Cool. Well, it is a little bit after the hour, so thank you all for coming and spending time with us, and look forward to getting to talk with you all and seeing you next month. We also, yeah. So, thanks so much, and Jeffrey, thank you for keeping everything running smoothly, and we will see you all next time. Thanks so much. And feel free to, if there's anyone else who you know should have been here today, and other performers, or if you're part of theater groups or acting classes, that that you know there's people who should be, that might want to know how voiceover is a secret weapon. Feel free to share the replay with them. So. All right, friends, thank you so much. We'll see you next time, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Tish. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.